Hey folks, welcome to this Go for Diamond call. It is always a pleasure to share, educate, and have the opportunity to share with you what Tammy and I do. The success that we have, it's not by luck, it is by design. And we certainly want to help you in getting the results that we are having, and especially with what is coming in 2015, starting with March 1st. It is important that we are prepared. Today it is February 2nd, and we're just getting started on a Go for Diamond call. And I wanted to remind everybody that this presentation, the actual PowerPoint that Tammy and I are following tonight on our call, can be accessed by going to our webinar, where if you go to activeteam.com and the sixth icon from the left to right, you click on it, you put your name, there's no password required. Right now we have quite a few people there already, and you're very welcome to join us there. If you cannot access the webinar tonight, you can download this PowerPoint. If you go to Documents from the Active Team site, it will take you to a series of directory. You select Canada, USA, select English, and under there you're going to select Training. And I believe that the PowerPoint is called Getting Started Level 1 Focus. It's a PowerPoint presentation. So you can access it from directly from there. I also posted it on the blog that we have on Facebook with the Go for Diamond call group. So there's a lot of area where you can access the document. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start with the very first slide. And those of you that are there, you can actually start seeing accessing the slide, starting with the first slide. So Tammy, why don't we start with the first one here? Is that me that begins? Okay, that's okay. We can make mistakes. Okay, it's me that starts. So she's kind of hitting me, guys, and telling me, no, it's your turn. Okay. So here's how it is, folks. This overview here, it's really designed for the brand new associate that is just getting started. Okay, so you don't need to be a pro, but also if you're a pro, you can certainly take advantage of this, because you'll understand that the duplication process is where the key element is here. If you're a max associate and you want to achieve success, I'm telling you, you want to duplicate this, and that's very, very important.
So let's start with the basics, you guys, because that's what's important. Max pays commissions based on sales volume. Sales volume is tracked through a point system. Because we are building a global business, we cannot have all these currencies. So Max counts that as a point system, which we call commissionable volume. Short for commissionable volume is CV. Every product purchased has a point value, okay? And Max associates, they need to purchase 100 commissionable volume on a monthly basis on an auto ship to consider your position as being active to receive commissions, and of course to accumulate the points that are generated through that qualifying month and the past months as well. So purchasing 2 products monthly is going to qualify you for 100 CV or more.
Okay, folks, so that is the key here. And Tammy and I have been training this for years. We've always talked about 100 CV. Any one of you that followed our Build for Bronze or Bronze Factory training and all these things, it's always, even years ago, we always talk about 100 CV, okay? That is the key element. Nothing has changed for the way that we've been training this. Now, how do we get started? Well, 1, commit to be active with your 100 CV, auto ship by purchasing at least 2 products on a monthly basis at the beginning of every month. We suggest the 5th of the month. Why? Because you can always choose the 16, the 17, the 18. That's for sure. You can even go to the 25th. The point is here is that if you train your team to do that, and then your team gets to be hundreds and then thousands, I guarantee you that there's no way you can keep up with everybody if some people become inactive, maybe because the credit card expired, or just typical reasons like this. But if it's on the beginning of the month, it's very easy for you, or at least gives you enough time or a lot of time to really pick up on what is going on. So it's a lot easier, and we certainly recommend you do it at the beginning. Number two, the second step is you want to find three people who wants to join your Max business. And we'll give you some example how you structure your three people here. But you want to find three people who wants to join a Max business who wants to do the same. And folks, this is just personal consumption here. Okay? And number three is to reach a total of 500 CV from the associate that you personally sponsored. Your volume, your points do not count towards that 500. It is what we call an auto ship bonus. Max calls it the prime bonus. So it speaks for itself. It's not about you that will actually count for the 500. It's about the duplication that you are delivering, which is what Max is paying you for. You duplicate the process where you find three people that are on 100 CV, and you total it up, and it will give you some examples of how you can proceed that a little bit later. Okay? Just make sure here nobody can access. There we go. Okay. There we go. So in this particular case, again, number one, number two, and number three are what you want to duplicate in building your business. Back to you, Tammy.
And by doing that, you will actually reach level 1 in the prime bonus. And if you can do that and duplicate level 1 with your organization, those three people that came in, and duplicate it again with their three people, the volume and the numbers are mind-boggling if you could calculate all this. We're going to show some examples, though. So I love this slide, and for those of you who are not looking at the webinar, you're going to access it anyways. It shows the CV points and the values of the CV points. For example, you got an example of every single product and the CV value for an associate purchase. Okay, so it gives you an example of the point structure when purchasing the product. And it also gives you the value of a customer purchase. Keep in mind, the customer on your personal order for 100 points does not count. It has to be your personal order. Okay? So 3 personally enrolled associates with 100 CV of their personal associate order, that'll accumulate 500 CV total from the personally enrolled associates that you have. That's when you will reach level 1. Okay, it's so simple, you guys. Keep in mind that your preferred customers don't count in that. It has to do with your associates 100, and then them bringing their own customers, adding up volume, which will total 500. Or Chris is going to show you some examples, and if you get a chance to see the slides, you're going to love the examples because it could be more than 3 people. But Max uses the 3 who introduce 3 each, who introduce 3 each, and keeping that simple duplication.
Now, you can see on the slide here that there is some CV value associated for each purchase. Okay, so you can you'll understand on the next slide what we cover. But for some of you that might be familiar, for some of you may not be familiar. But you can see the Celgivity box is $69, 69 CV. Celgivity 1 month bottle is $65. These are loyalty prices that we're sharing with you here. You can see the Max ATP, the Max Infuse, the Max GXL, the Max One, and then the Switch, and of course the MetaSwitch Fit Kit. Okay, see these are the CVs associated, and on the right side of that, these are customers. Why is it less? Because if someone becomes a customer, you get paid 25% from their purchases. So that's what you get in cash. The other half is what we considered points, which will be counted towards their 500, I should say towards their 500 CV qualification. Okay, so let's carry on here. So going on to the next slide, here's some examples. If you're watching the slide here, that you can consider in qualifying for level 1. Example 1 is you have 3 associates with maybe 3 preferred customers. So let's say each associate have a preferred customer each. Okay? So when you start calculating the CV you would total up 588 CV. So there's 3 associates with, for example, someone who is, and each of those associates have the 100 CV, and they have a customer that orders a bottle of Celgivity. And that's how we come up with a total of 588. Example 2. Well, maybe instead of 3 associates, you sponsored 4 associates. I mean, let's face it. I mean, Tammy and I have sponsored together between 300 to 400 associates in the past 8 years almost we've been. It's going to be 8 years in February. Well, in fact, tomorrow it's going to be our official third. Yeah, it's going to be 8 years tomorrow. Isn't that interesting? So, so again, 4 associates. So if you sponsor 4 associates that are purchasing about 125 CV. Now, I mean, look at the numbers. It's exactly 500 CV. Now, that's quite simple. Someone comes in with a Celgivity and someone comes in, let's say, with, an ATP. It's around these numbers. Okay, so you understand? Or another example. Example 3. 4 associates purchase 100 CV, and each associate has 1 preferred customer. Okay, that totals up to 32 CV. As I showed you this slide earlier, these customers, it's around these numbers. You're looking at 528 CV. Example 5. You get 5 associates instead of 3 or 4 that purchase 100 CV. All of these different instances will qualify you for level 1. If you recall, on the compensation plan training that I did, and I'm going to redo it, by the way, because there's been some new version of the presentation that I find a lot easier to understand, and I will redo my recording. For those of you that heard it already, I'm going to do another one and send it out. But the point is, if someone qualifies for level 1, you can earn up to $75. This is residual income even before your team comes to maturity. $75 a month up to just for reaching level 1. Okay, following the 4 examples that I shared with you. So a minimum of 3 personally enrolled associates with 100 CV. You have to remember that each individual have to have 100 CV and not to have, let's say, 50 CV and to top it up with a customer. They each have to have 100 CV. The other 3 or the other 4 or the other 2 could be a combine of all. Okay, and by that time you've achieved 100 CV, and then you are basically ready for the next step. But you see, the key is you don't have to worry about level 2 and level 3 on the Prime bonus. If you just duplicate level 1 with all your personals and teach your personals to do the same thing, guess what happens? Automatically, you qualify for level 2 or level 3. It is congruent. It is designed to help you grow your business. And if you plan this where you build your left side and your right side of your business, so you sponsor someone on your right and you sponsor someone on your left, and they qualify for level 1, do you understand? And now you have some activities going on both sides. And if this is constantly duplicated, do you understand the power? You don't have to worry about, okay, how do I become bronze? How do I become gold? How do I even get to diamond? Well, you will automatically achieve these levels because you will qualify for all the different levels of the compensation plan simply by duplicating level 1. That's the message that we want to share with you here tonight. Back to you, Tammy.
And keep in mind, the Prime bonus is the auto ship bonus. So, because we've had people ask us the question, what if somebody signs up a Premier Pack? Well, their following month is their auto ship. That will count for your auto ship bonus when they're on active 100 points. So the 700 points that your person generates because you personally brought them with 700 points, that does not count. That rolls into the fast start bonus that people get when they sign somebody up. Okay, so just want to clear up that question that many people are asking. So the building blocks for success, this is what we're doing, you guys. We're keeping it really simple. Number 1, achieve level 1. That's the first goal. Remain active with 100 points personally in auto ship purchases, which is 2 products. 3 personally enrolled associates minimum with 100 CV auto ship. They can count their customers towards the 500 CV total from your personally enrolled associates. Okay, so that's the simple duplication. And if you get this and you can teach this, don't worry about all the other things that are lined up in the compensation plan enhancements, because all of that, like we said, will fall into place. Help your personally enrolled associates to do the same thing. We're in a business of duplication. The more you duplicate with your organization, and this gets repeated, you'll see some huge success in the big numbers. I was sitting up a week ago counting numbers, and I couldn't believe the numbers that came up after 12 months. If you'd stayed focused, duplicating this, it's unbelievable.
So again, continue to duplicate level 1 with every new person who joins the team. Folks, that is the key. It is duplication, duplicating the right behavior, simple steps. So what does success looks like? Well, for example, first month, let's just say for the sake of discussion here that you have 4 new associates, okay? And so you have a total of number of 4 people. And in this case, the U.S. commission would be about $100, okay? And in this case, on the second month, and again, folks, this is a duplication process that you understand. These are just the numbers game here, okay? But understand the power only by helping your team achieving the level 1 by bringing 4 new associates with at least about 125 CV of AutoShip. Now, we're not even talking about the people that are going to come with the Premier Packs. We know that that's going to happen. It's for sure. Okay, some people will see the big picture and they want more products to share within their social environment. What we're talking about is the basic building blocks of qualifying for level 1 month after month after the enrollment of each associate. So you can see the numbers that you have 16 associates. You have about, on the second month, okay, in this particular example, if all is duplicated, which we know it's not still a perfect world, but let's look at the numbers. Total team members is about 20. So the USD commission, you're looking at about $500, and you're still a senior associate. Okay? Now, if you duplicate the process, and folks, don't worry that we're talking just a third month, even if it takes 6 months to do, okay, even a year. People work a lifetime. I mean, people that I know, and $2,000 a month, it's great money. Now, and keep in mind that this is part-time, and this is over and above what you are earning right now. So here's the possibilities that you can earn as a bronze associate, okay, or as a gold associate, or as a diamond associate, or triple diamond associate. It becomes mind-boggling on the possibilities, okay? So this is the power of duplication. So the key, again, to understand here is the summary.
So again, the summary of keeping this very simple is number 1, to achieve level 1. That's number 1. Remain active at 100 CV in AutoShip purchases, 3 personally enrolled associates, each of them with 100 CV AutoShips, 500 CV total from your personally enrolled associates, including their purchases, 100 minimum of theirs, and the rest could be customers. Okay, it could be 4 associates, it could be 5 associates. Chris showed you some examples. Number 2 is to help your personally enrolled associates to do the same thing. And repeat, this is simple, you guys. If we all stay focused on this simple main activity of everybody building level 1s, then everybody's going to build their level 2s, level 3s, so on and so forth, in tapping into all the compensation plan benefits that are going on with all the bonuses and the perks.
Okay. So, folks, this is it. That's it. Sometimes, success does not have to be complicated. We tend to complicate things so much sometimes. But the key is simplicity. Okay? So, again, just to revise, if you're watching the slides over here, let's go back to that slide over here and just kind of revisit this a little bit. Okay? You come into your business. You're signed up today. There is no associates in your business right now, and you start. And what's happening right now is you're starting to build your business. And in building your business, you sponsor, for example, this is you over here, and then you have one person on the left and one on the right. So I'm going to draw a little circle over here. Okay, so this is the one person on the left, and this is the one person on the right. Okay, so if you're using the example one over here, okay, so you would have, that could be how your business would look like. Okay, so that person over here, and that person over here, and that person over here would each have qualify for 100 CV, and they would have each one customer. Okay, and in this particular case, you're looking at 558 CV. Now, if you look at the example number 2 over here, okay, so instead of having 3 that you see over here, we're adding a 4th one over here. And each of them are ordering 500 CV. This equals, again, you're qualified. 125. Okay, 125 CV times 4, it's 500 CV. You see, it's really that simple. And if you duplicate that every time someone starts, you do not need to understand the plan. It is that simple. Okay? So the key is to do it month after month and to duplicate the process. Okay? These are just different examples of different scenarios that you could consider in building your business. Okay? So it is really that simple, and that's what we wanted to talk to you about tonight. Don't worry that you need to understand this plan and you need to figure out the prime bonus and all the levels and understanding the qualification to become diamond. And don't worry about all that. If you want to study it, it's there. The compensation plan training is there. Everything's there. But it is really simple. It is for you to initiate the business by sponsoring 3 people or more, and by reaching a total of 500 CV within your personal associate. You've done that, you've qualified for level 1. Your next step is duplicate all these individuals, these 4 or these 3 or these 5 that you personally have enrolled. Make sure that they all qualify for the level 1. And automatically, if you do that, then guess what? Your level 2 is also qualified. Now you are qualified if all 3 have qualified for their level 1. Now you're going to get another up to $300 check. This is on residual income. And if these people are sponsored, balanced on the left and on the right, do you see the potential? Tammy and I started this business 8 years ago tomorrow, and we're dealing with well over 65,000. I think we're flirting with over 75,000 associates. To be honest with you, I don't look at it too often. But the point here is we started by focusing on the people that we knew, and we kept duplicating the process. And this is the reason why residual has been quite fruitful for Tammy and I today. And what you're looking at here is the prime examples that you should be following as long as you reach that 500 CV within your first level by after you sponsor your first 3. Tammy, do you have any other points you want to add?
Yeah, call to action, you guys. The month of February is going to be, first of all, it's a short month, and we want to make sure that everybody's out there driving volume within their teams and working on making sure that's already being done in the team, so that going into March, you know, all of your associates that are active building Max, they're duplicating this and making sure that they've got their first 3 people, and they're qualifying their first 500 CV in their first level, personal level of association, and make sure that you've got that going, your team's got that going, and see how much is being duplicated in the second level within your personals, and talk to the people who might have been inactive because they might have found it a little overwhelming. Show them the simplicity of this duplication. I'm sure you're going to reignite some people with all of the things that are going on with Max, all the new stuff, the new colors, the new everything. I just sent out a bunch of those new videos to associates who were inactive who called me back and said, wow, I got to be part of this again. So make sure that you're out there doing that. Month of February, make that your driving month. Whatever it takes, give it everything you got for the whole month of February, and you'll be surprised going into March how this enhanced plan is going to reward you really well.
Now, in concluding the call tonight, folks, on the Active Team calendar, and of course you also have the Max calendar for events, there is a Toronto event on Wednesday, and I wanted to remind you that on Thursday, Tammy and I are going to do our opportunity webinar. That's going to be between 7:30 to 8 o'clock, 7:30 Eastern Time to 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And I wanted to remind all of you that Tammy will be going to New Zealand and Australia. We are leaving on February 12th and returning back to Florida on the 24th, I believe. I think it's on the 27th. That's right, on the 27th. Okay, so we will be available on Skype. We'll be available through emails, and everything will be pretty much the same as far as you're concerned to reach us. Okay, so folks, listen, we want to thank you for attending this webinar, or I should say this conference call / webinar. And the key, folks, is download this training that we made available for you. I believe that I shared with you. The name of the file is Getting Started, Level 1, Focus. And you can find this file if you go to Active Team under Documents. And under Documents, you would select the directory Canada, USA, and then you would select English, and then Trainings, and right there you will find the file. Download it, look at it, and train it, teach it. And folks, I'm telling you, you'll do very well in 2015. This plan is exciting. It is designed to help everyone and to create an equal playing field for everybody. Nobody will be left behind unless you choose to stay behind. So folks, have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.